How you doing? It's your favorite streamer, the hardest working streamer on the internet, Popeye Blackmore. We are playing $100 freeze out on PokerStars. We are going to. There's also a tournament that's going to be firing up at 8 o'clock, and there's a late one at like 10:30 that we may get involved in, depending on how the first and second tournaments go. But that's how we're going to do it. I'm actually eating some food right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute my mic and leave you with the poker screen and the background music. All right, hang in there with me. All right, peoples, let's go. Let's go. All right, guys. As usual, we're gonna start off kind of, it's a deep stack tournament. We're not gonna go too crazy too early. We're gonna raise up, general spots. Just try to play solidly. Just try to play solidly and take care of business here. That's the plan. Alright, we flopped top pair. It's not great, so we're just going to... Just gonna bet out just to protect it a little bit. We get a call from center. Again, nothing too crazy. Gonna bet out again. And he folds. Again, if you're watching this, like, comment, visit me on Twitch, do all of the above. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Hope everyone is enjoying their Friday evening. Me personally, I'm watching the Tiger and Mickelson match while playing poker here. Just got done eating some beef stroganoff, and yeah, just ready to get our thrust on, baby. Let's get thrusty here. So it's a $100 entry straight up. 16 entries. Late registration's closed. So it's funny because a lot of the people that are entering this are people we've marked accordingly. So shouldn't be any surprises here. Should not be any surprises. So, long story short, we play our game. We should do well. That's the plan, at least. So if you're out of town or just out and about on Memorial Day weekend, hope you have safe travels. hope you hope you're doing well, and you know, if you're lucky enough to have tomorrow off, I have tomorrow off. More power to you. Um, but yeah, should be a fun night. I've gotten absolutely jackhammered betting the horses, so possibly the horse stream is going to have to maybe settle down for a little while. And by a little while, I mean maybe like I mean maybe like 2 or 3 days. Like nothing super crazy, but um, or possibly just with like a much less bullet. Like perhaps I could show some restraint. Going into degen mode, betting the horses was not the ideal situation, but not the ideal situation to get all degen there. But you know, so it goes. No risk, no reward. Pounding away at Australia, which is tough. I mean, you know, it's not like you can handicap the race well. I mean, but when you're trying to figure out the winner in 16 horse fields, it can get tough. We are, let's see. Again, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, I would suggest watching it on Twitch, especially if you enjoy it. If you watch it on Twitch and send me a follow, it will really help me out. But there's also a lot of good things on Twitch that are streaming. There's other poker players streaming. I mean, like serious poker players, like international poker players. There's like live music and stuff. There's like chess. There's online casinos. Yeah, so like if you enjoy that stuff, for sure, you know, go on to Twitch. If you haven't heard of Twitch, it's like it's like a live streaming platform, and there's already a nice niche of streamers that put out a very nice, like nice looking product, and that's always good. The tunes are courtesy of YouTube and specifically non-copyrighted music. You can play copyrighted music during the Twitch, but if you plan on either rebroadcasting or archiving the music, that is, excuse me, then it's going to mute out the parts where there's the copyrighted music. So it is how it is, I guess. I don't, but so we specifically, there's some, there's some good, interesting stuff on here. So it's a lot of like electronic and dance music, but it's just chill and nice to have in the background. All right, we turn an ace, but we'll check it. I mean, there's nothing here on this board that would really scream. I think we just check this around too. Maybe someone bets a little bit for some thin value and we call it. We're obviously definitely calling here. Jerry does a terrible job of protecting your queens. You gotta protect there. Otherwise, you just just let a guy like me just win the pot. I like guys. I like being a guy like me. But you don't want to let me win pots I shouldn't. I already win way more pots than I should not win. So don't give me any extra pots. Oh my goodness. Oh man, and yeah, you know what? What am I? I'm wearing. What did I play? I played the Turn Eater. I didn't play any last night, but I didn't stream last night. I should have, because it was full on degenerate mode betting the horses, and it sucked because I couldn't even be like, oh, at least it was done for the stream. It wasn't done for the stream. It was done for my own god awfulness. But yeah, 2 nights ago we took down the Friday tournament. You see the results in the bottom left corner here. Nothing, nothing really fancy. We didn't get in any crazy spots or anything. Made some nice double ups and we made a nice. When it was three-handed, there was a shove on the button with someone had ace 9. We had ace 3. There was a shove on the button. We called, spiked to 3. It wasn't. It was already one of those spots where there's going to be calls. I'm calling any ace there, but we called a break, and then catching breaks is good. I mean, you see it all the time at the poker table. Like, catching breaks is wonderful, but that's only part one of. That's only a piece of a large fabric you're trying to weave while playing at a poker tournament. Like, if you win a huge double up from behind, and then you spew it 3 hands later, you've wasted your luck. So, if you're going to get lucky, parlay it into good things. Make the most of it. Don't just be like, oh, if I got lucky, let me just keep on getting lucky. Well, no, get lucky, stay solid, and keep putting yourself in good spots. See how the other tables are doing. Just giving a little look-see here. Nothing crazy going on so far. Nothing too crazy. All right, we got 9-10 suited. We got Bud with a little mini raise. A couple calls behind that. We're gonna call. Flop is not particularly enticing for our range. Fold. Yeah, so run down the table. We have Rod and Jerry to the left of us. They're not terribly worried about them. They play fairly straightforward. So it's easy to get away from things as soon as they show a lot of interest. Top two are to watch for. Taylor and Bud, they can definitely be tricky. Center can get tricky, although he's not as tricky as the other two. Don't have a ton of information on Carlos, but I know his name, so I must have played enough against him. But I haven't marked him as anything. Then we have Kim to the right. She can be tricky. She's more than capable of putting in 3 bets and bluffs, but she tends to get overextended on some of those moves. So if you do have the goods, you can occasionally trap her into a really bad spot. And then at the other table, let's see who we got at the other table. We know about them too. We got Drew. We know all about him. We got Dan. Dan can be tricky. Scott can be pretty tricky down here. We got John. Roland calls a lot pre-flop, so you gotta just be aware of that. But it's something that's, that can be taken advantage of in the proper spots. We pinched Sonny Jins on the last broadcast when he overextended top pair with no kicker. So again, I mean, it could have been. I won't make note of that. He cashed in like some Omaha tournament for like $5,000 on Poker Bros the other day. So that's better than what I'm putting in, but I can only play and beat the people in the tournament. So I also have no particular interest in super extending how much poker I play. I don't mind beating up on one tournament at a time for a couple hundo while I'm on the computer anyway. Alright, hey, if you're catching this on Facebook really quick, drop a like, drop a comment, say hi, any of the above. We like that. We enjoy that. We enjoy interaction. And we will be happy to respond if you want me to give a shout out of some sort. We'll raise this up here. We'll fold that. If you're watching the Phil and Tiger match, I'm watching this, and the absolute number one thing I can say that I'm jealous of is how fucking fast those golf carts they have are going. I mean, those things are just blazing around the course. You go to your local local course, and you get to one that can't haul like 2 grown men up a hill. man. I may have to get some coffee for this shit today. I'll fold. Fold this from a small blind. Oh man, tomorrow looks like it's going to be an amazing day. Upper 70s. Oh man. That was a nice putt by Phil. Jesus. It's so funny. Tom Brady keeps going in for like the fist bumps and the high fives, and it's like, listen, man, the Rona slim. All right, we got ace queen offsuit. We have a flat call from under the gun. We want to bump this up so we can try to just take as many people as possible out of the hand, so we can play heads up. Gets folded around. Do. Take it down. That's a bad call. Call fold there. So yeah, under the gun, you don't want to. You want to either be coming out with like a little bit of a raise, or you just want to fold. And if it's something in the middle that you're not sure about, just lean towards folding under the gun, because you're probably not going to be in good position to play the hand later on. We got fives here. We are going to open. We're going to open it here. Little raise. Like I just said, under the gun, you don't want to be calling. You want to either be opening or folding. And if it's close, I would say do a fold, but there's a lot of value in fives here if we can flop a set. Taylor 3-bets us. We're going to call again. We want to see a 5. And we see a 5. So, and it's on a rainbow flop, so that's good. Including cards that he should probably hit. So, this could be very good for us. We'll check it to him. We'll see what he wants to do. He's going to bet a little more than the pot. And we're going to... So usually I would probably just call here and then check again, but I know Taylor can be tricky. So I'm going to play 2-3-7-5 on a re-raise here and see if he really wants to be a big boy about this. Alright, the pot's now big enough here that we're just gonna, you know, we're just gonna bet or whatever the hell he's got left. And we crush him and he calls off and we double up. And one of the tricky people that are out of the tournament are in, so good for us. Again, that may not necessarily be the way to play it all the time, but Taylor and I have played each other numerous times, so I think the actual re-raise on the flop probably disguised my hand probably disguised my hand more than you would normally think. So that's good. That's good. Again, it's good. Anytime you can get all the money in and you can't be beat, it doesn't get much better than that. And that's one of the main reasons you call, you call pocket pairs like that. You go to a flop, and if you flop the set, there's a likelihood of, getting all the money. So, good stuff. Good stuff.
lights again. I was building this wall of trust, my friend. It isn't easy when you fight for bringing me down. You know I'll be there, can't you see you letting me down? You just know that I'll be
Oh, had the old mic muted. Yeah, if you're checking this out on Facebook, check it out on Twitch. Drop a follow and just look around. There's a lot of good stuff going on Twitch, especially during these crazy quarantine times. Look at this. Alright, people are starting to another time a set takes down Ace King. That's how it happens sometimes. And yeah, if you watch the Friday stream and you're like, man, that looks like the same shirt he was wearing. This is indeed the same shirt I was wearing. I haven't changed it. Gross. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Damn. Yawning. I definitely need that coffee. Breaks in 2 minutes, so that's good. Then it is on to Coffee Town. And we get a walk. We will take it. CH, you are a devoted follower, and we greatly appreciate it. So everyone who's following and watching and commenting right now. All right, Mr. Eric Edwards, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated, buddy. Everyone who's following now, like when we're in our infancy, God willing, this becomes something more significant than just a general hobby. I mean, again, I'm not looking to quit my job, but we are looking to monetize this eventually, and I like, anyone who's supporting the channel and watching now, you will not be forgotten if we, I shouldn't say if, I should think more positively, when we get monetized, when we have 50, 100, 200 followers, you guys who are here in the early running would be like, yeah, I remember that guy. I remember seeing him do silly stuff like show his thrusting gif, or his unbelievable. I remember when unbelievable, he just made that shit up. But I figured one of the main reasons I did this was because I'm doing this anyway, and just seemed fun to just share it and just chat about it. Like, I have a fairly thick skin, so like if you want to come in here and say like, man, you fucking suck at poker, I'm like, yeah, I don't disagree with you. And then I'll tell you one thing, I fucking suck lately at betting the horses. Look at that. Look at those recent results. Yeah, that was a $794 bath yesterday. That's not good. That was like I had taken strong showers before that, and then I just like jumped into the pool of getting fucking hammered. So, like I said, we're going to refrain for a couple of days. By the time we get back into it, there'll probably be more tracks running, and we won't have to just cut our teeth betting Australia, which is certainly not our bread and butter. Usually that's our nightcap. It's like loading up. It's like trying to load up on dessert. Like betting Australia is like trying to load up on dessert and act like you're full off a real meal. Harness is our main course, and we'll dabble in the thoroughbreds in general, the big tracks like Santa Anita and Churchill and stuff. But yeah, let me get that off the screen before I like puke all over the place. Let me go there. All right, let me stop bullshitting around. Let me get some coffee. I will be right back. I will leave the music on for you folks. Worst part was I didn't even stream last night. So poker and like poker and bowling are similar in some aspects on certain, and I mean anything in general where you try to do it in like an advanced manner. Let me mute the audio because I actually have some thoughts here. So yeah, so like poker, bowling, just general things like that, to certain situations, to kind of to the untrained eye, or to the person, to maybe like the recreational player or the amateur or what have you, certain things are just going to be, they're going to see them and they're going to be like, oh, they're going to look at them in a very basic manner. Like, someone throws a ball and they leave a 10 pin, they're like, oh man, you know what? That was a good shot, and I left a 10 pin. Well, there's like the not necessarily aspect of it. It's like sometimes it is a good shot and it's 10. Sometimes it's like not necessarily one. Sometimes you get like a bad angle or something, it's a flat shot. It's never going to strike. So you leave a 10 pin on a flat shot, it's probably a break. But generally speaking, when people watch those things from like a recreational mind or recreational thought of the game, they'll see it and they'll just say, oh, they'll kind of do the old like one, superficial level of thinking on it, and just be like, oh, that's a bad break, or that should go. But if you do something advanced, that there's other possibilities. So like someone's playing poker, and they're like, oh, obviously you're going to win. You had the better hand. You had a set of fives against ace king. It's like, yeah, definitely, going to be a tough. It's definitely going to end up pretty good for me. But the nuance part is saying, well, part two of that scenario is not just getting the good hand, but being able to maximize the money from it. Because if you play it in a very, if you play it in a certain manner, or you don't get active very often, and suddenly you show a lot of activity, the villain's going to a good player, a good villain that you're going against will be able to sniff that out and at least question or at least proceed with caution about entering into a hand. So, I played a certain way with the understanding that Taylor knew I was capable of playing that certain way. But, some of these other players, like, they're not capable of making those moves without an absolute fucking hammerlock hand. So you can make big laydowns against them even though you're in tough spots, because it's like that's not how they play. That's not how they and the amateur mind will be like, well, you're still going to win the hand. It's like, well, yeah, you win the hand, but you're anytime you lose value when you can get more, can catch up with you. You need to be as efficient as you can be, because there's always going to be the possibility you're going to be on the wrong end of tough spots, and if you chipped up enough, you'd be able to weather those types of storms. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to kind of go over that briefly. Just say, hey, a lot of people are like, oh, look, you had a good chips and you had a good hand, and you should win the hand when you have a good hand. It's like, okay, I did win the hand, but you have to push. You have to keep your eyes on the prize of maximizing the value from it, and being able to understand how other players perceive you and how that relates to how they play against you can be a big help to winning hands. Okay, music's back on. Just gonna raise this up. We're on the button. Rod's sitting out. Jerry's in the big blind. She calls. We're gonna see bet here. If she calls back, then we rein it in. That's a little more than a callback. What do you mean unable to connect to Facebook? What the hell is this, man? Fucking Facebook. Alright, 10 queen offsuit's not particularly great, but it gets folded around to us, and Rod's sitting out, so we're going to be available to win the button here. All right, we flop middle pair again. C-bet's good. Get a call. Our hand gets a little better. We're gonna check back for pot control. Dry jack would be nice. Dry jack is nice. We do not get a dry jack, but there's 8 makes a straight. Jack queen already made a straight, but we have blocks on that. Were they checking? Huh. I don't know anything about villain, but I'm gonna call as much to gain information, just as much to see how they play. Yeah. Alright, capable of making a bluff. We know that now. Alright, we got 10s. We kind of want callers here. Gonna raise it up to 275. It's an interesting flop here. This is a decidedly low bet. The whole board is overcards, but we do have draws to the nuts, so and we have blocks too, you know, accompanying straights, so we'll call it. Alright, now our hand's kind of trashy. Villain checks. I think a big enough bet will blow him off the pot. But you know, honestly, on that same note, I'm really not interested in. Yeah, I mean they're betting here. They can. This is like really thin value. I mean we probably lose to stupid things like Jack 9. Yeah, it's not worth it. Where the other one was worth it, we were interested in what we were seeing. On that one, we really weren't interested, and we knew what we were up against. Baby, I'm yours. Whatever you say, go. Nobody needs to know. Whatever you say, go. Alright, 10 queen under the gun, we'll fold it.